before I wrote the book, I didn't realize the extent of the overlap, but it's very concerning. You have people with major conflicts of interest running our national security policy on things like AI that have conflicts of interest with China. And Eric Schmidt just wrote a book with Henry Kissinger, and these guys basically argue in order to avoid a cataclysmic war with China, we have to make good and cooperate with China. And the model for that is basically, the World Economic Forum. I mean, they argue the same thing, global governance and technocracy, following the China model here. And it's very against everything most Americans are accustomed to. But they're, I guess, finding ways to manufacture consent for it, whether the justification's climate change, it's COVID, it's a food and energy crisis that's been manufactured. Whatever will stick, they'll use. But the problem is you're having the people that control Silicon Valley behind this. They control where most people get their information, where most people socialize today. And they're increasingly censoring people from platforms. They're waging basically a war on dissent. That I've written about a few times, and it's getting, increasingly Orwellian to the point where, they'll label you misinformation or, this is disinformation. But, the Biden administration, if their war on domestic terror advances the way they've written it out, you say the wrong thing or you disagree with the state even, or the official narrative, you're, inciting violence. You're potentially a domestic violent extremist.
Right.
And that's happened in history before, not necessarily the United States, but other countries. And, it's pretty clear that once that type of policy gets implemented, things go downhill very quickly.